Andrew and Max Savage and Austin Brown and Sean Yeaton are Parquet a rock band from New York. They were formed in 2010 and they're still going. They've had 7 albums, no change in members, and I couldn't find any particularly interesting stories about them.
Hi, my name's Dan, and this is a review of the album Wide Awake by Parquet. It was their 6th album, and it was released in 2018, and it's my first time listening to it. I have reviewed 2 of their albums before on this channel. Sunbathing Animal got 7 out of 10. Human Performance got 6.8 out of 10. And I'm giving this a whopping 7.4 out of 10. So, spoiler, I've told you about the end. I'm not actually going to spend a long time on this review because I don't have a huge amount to say. I would describe this as being art punk with other things in it. It's quite varied, actually. There's a few tracks that remind me of punk. There's a funk track, there's an almost reggae track, and a couple more kind of soft rockish kind of tracks. The majority sound, though, is this kind of punky feel. Guitar, bass, drums, very immediate. Fast-ish, not too fast. Immediate-ish, with a reasonable amount of energy. Kind of simple. And has, to my mind, a kind of Buzzcocks, Stranglers, Undertones feel. And you might have noticed that those 3 that I've mentioned are all UK punk bands. Now, one of the reasons for that is I am more familiar with UK punk than US punk. But also, I feel like when I was listening to this, I'd actually forgotten that they were a US band. I'd forgotten, in fact, that I'd reviewed 2 of their albums before. It's bound to happen. I am going through so many albums so quickly and effectively speed dating them that sometimes I forget some details. And the kind of sensibilities of it made me think more UK punk than US punk. But I am far from an expert. So please let me know in the comments if you disagree with me on this. Whenever you think, I was talking rubbish, that should be a cue for you to say what you think and let me know in the comments. Some of the tracks have some kind of cheap sounding, almost like little Casio keyboard things, which gives it an interesting sound. It is a thing that I've heard other people do, but it is an interesting effect, and I like it. Generally, I like the album. It has energy. It has intelligence and humour and variety. I would say my favourite track is Wide Away, probably, which is interesting because it's the funk track. It kind of starts with a Latin rhythm, almost into kind of Latin disco, but then it goes funk when the bass and the rhythm come in more. I would say it's nicely put together music. As an album, the kind of putting together of the tracks feels a bit scrappy, but musically it's good. And I especially enjoyed some of the bass playing. Those of you who've been around my channel for a while know that I like a good bit of bass, and this was a good bit of bass. So that's what I think of this album. And I'm just going to do a little aside here for regulars on my channel, which is that I'm actually trying an experiment with this set of videos. This is the 7th in a row that I've recorded. Now, normally, or certainly over the past kind of few months, I tend to try and record in daylight. I've got some nice daylight over in that direction. And it looks much better than if I'm doing it using the kind of room lights of the room. Today is actually a really manky day outside. It's tipping it down and it's grey and dark. But I've got an extra light that I've put on over here. And I just want to get, if anybody's got any opinions on the lighting of this video. I know it's a small kind of technical thing. I think I quite like it. It looks like it's kind of a nice sunny day outside. It's actually what's called a sad light, which is meant to be a daylight light, and it's pointed not straight at me, but away. And then I've got the room light on as well. I ask these questions in my regulars. Nobody ever seems to comment on these things. So, move on by. Or, if you are struck by anything, please, give me a comment. But the thing that I'd really like comments about is, what do you think of this album? I'd love to know, so please do leave me a comment. And that's it from me for now.